kicking off an event with coffee in an early rainy morning. We appreciate everyone making out to the Kansas Aviation Museum this morning. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for representing the air capital of the world. All of you are a part of the air capital in one way or the other, and we are so honored that you're able to join us here this morning as we host the Airbus senior leadership team and their supply chain team to add on to the great relationship we've had with Airbus and Mr. O'Leary and the engineering team here and the community for many years. My name is Andrew Nave. I am the Executive Vice President at the Greater Wichita Partnership. I'm joined by Tammy Nolan Carrasco, my teammate and partner in crime, as we've had the honor and the privilege of helping to host this event along with the Senator's team. So again, thank you very much for being here. There's a couple folks, I'm not going to speak very long, but a couple folks I would like to recognize and to welcome and to thank. First off, our joint host today with the Kansas Aviation Museum, Ben Sauceda, a relatively new Executive Director. Ben, thank you very much for opening up to us. I know, Ben, for many of you who have spent many an evening in a gala or an event here, that there's great things coming at the Kansas Aviation Museum. I know Ben would love to talk with you afterwards or maybe even share a little bit more about the museum for sure. I'm not possibly going to be able to recognize all the elected officials here, but just a few to start, and then I'll stop. It's only Congressman Estes, Ron Estes, thank you very much, sir, for being here. I didn't see Chairman David Dennis with the Sedgwick County Commission. I thought he was going to be here, but I didn't see the chairman. But we do have a few mayors in the audience that I wanted to recognize. Mayor Brandon Whipple from the city of Wichita is here somewhere. Mayor Whipple, thank you for being here. Mayor Randy White from nearby here in Derby. Mayor White, thank you for being here. There you are, sir. And certainly, I know there's going to be more to be discussed, but Mayor Ronnie Price from the city of Andover, I know all of us would love to give a round of applause for Mayor Price. Thank you, sir. Again, thank you for being here on behalf of the Air Capital. This event helps us expand our aviation network and our aviation supply chain, not just here in Wichita, but in the entire region and across Kansas. And you all are a part of that. But a leader that we have in that is Jerry Moran. We're so thankful for the Senator and his leadership. I'm not going to do his whole bio because many of you know him and know his great experience, but we cannot possibly have a better advocate for economic development or for the aerospace industry than Jerry Moran. So please help me welcome Senator Moran.
And Andrew, thank you. Tammy, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Congressman Estes is the best advocate for aviation and aerospace and for Wichita and economic development in the United States Congress. And you ought to give him, this is my alternative to having him speak. So you ought to give him another round of applause. Although we both said, have you ever given remarks and when you were done said, oh, I wish I'd have talked longer. We've never experienced that, either one of us. But I really appreciate Ron being here. He is got committee assignments that are of significant importance to anything that good can happen in Kansas, and such an advocate, strong worker, and I'm a fan and friend of him, and I appreciate his presence here this morning among those many people here in Wichita who admire and respect him. So thank you, Ron, for our friendship, our relationship, and thank you all for being here. This is, I wouldn't want Jeff to think that this is just one of several things that we are trying to do to get business interested in Wichita. Because Jeff is here, this is the most important guest we've ever had come visit. But we are working to bring people in the governmental side, the defense sector, the space sector, to get to Wichita to understand and know us, to know what the capabilities are, for them to see Wichita State and NIAR, and then meet the manufacturing capabilities of this community and this part of Kansas and our entire state. And this is an opportunity for us to highlight to Airbus, a hugely important customer already for Kansas, but an even greater opportunity for us to do more business with Airbus. Most recent press reports of expansion in Huntsville. How could I forget Huntsville? It's the one I always think of whenever I think we should be doing that in Wichita. Huntsville. And Jeff and I were talking, that increases the need for domestic suppliers. And then the difficulties that everyone has in supply chain and the desire by Airbus to reduce the risk of being without an adequate supply of the components necessary to meet their market demands. And so we invited Airbus to be here. They were kind enough several years ago to come here and held a suppliers conference. And this time we thought we'd bring at least ask the chairman and CEO of Airbus America to come and meet with potential business partners in Kansas. I would be remiss if I wasn't express the gratitude to Airbus for their current presence in Kansas, and John O'Leary and his engineering team, the North American headquarters for Airbus Engineering. They are a huge component of who we are, and it's always bragging rights for me to say an Airbus is in Wichita because of John's presence. So the Airbus team has spent a couple days in Wichita. They've visited with a number of suppliers, many of you in the room, and the CEO and Chairman Jeff is going to help fulfill that visit by doing more of that today. So Jeff, before Ron Estes says, I thought you weren't going to talk very long, please welcome the CEO, the chairman of Airbus America to the air capital of the world.
I don't think I need this because I believe I have a lavalier. So, Senator Moran, thank you. I appreciate it. And the Greater Wichita Partnership. By the way, can you hear me with the lavalier? The answer is no. You can? You can?
I can't.
All right. Let's.
If I would have asked that question regardless, they would have said yes.
Well, as a matter of fact, several were saying it's very good. I can't hear you. So that's the best speech I've given. So again, thank you, Senator Moran. I appreciate it. The Greater Wichita Partnership, the invitation, and really the opportunity. Senator Moran was kind enough to invite us and allow us to meet the individuals who really make a difference in aviation, and that's the supply chain. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I have an affinity for Wichita. And the reason for that is, this is where I started my career. I started in Wichita working for Cessna. I worked there a few years, and they probably realized I'd be better off working at another company. But I had a great time, really enjoyed it, and most of all, I enjoyed the people. It was fun to be in the air capital of the world. And certainly for most of my career, I talked about Wichita being the hub of aviation. And I think it still is. I think we need to do more as a company to engage with Wichita, and we'll do that. And I can tell you, in all honesty, every time I see Senator Moran, he says, well, you know, we should talk to more suppliers. And you are very lucky to have Senator Moran, Congressman Estes, who really truly help to promote aviation specifically across the United States with the Workforce Protection Act. You know, when you think about that, that protected many, many jobs, and I think brought in $100 million into Kansas. And people don't understand. I have the opportunity to travel around the world. How far ahead the U.S. is relative to COVID and aviation. When you fly today, most people would say it's a relatively normal experience. That you can go get airplanes, you can go on now, I think positively, without masks. You can do a lot of things that are normal. And that was brought about by the protection of the industry, the manufacturing industry in this case, and the employees, and also by backing up the airlines. So I just want to thank both of you for what you did, because without that, it would have been a long, hard road. Now, Senator Moran talked about our rate increase, and I'm not going to get into a lot of details, except we're in Mobile, Alabama. But some other guy is in Huntsville, but I forget what their name is.
My apologies.
No. and again, you are such a great supporter. I appreciate it. But in Mobile, we are going to add over 1,000 employees. And what that means is that we will need the supply chain to come along. And I don't know of a better place to get our parts, to get our sub-assemblies than right here in Wichita. So I hope... Clearly, we've already have a presence here. John has over 200 engineers. We will be increasing that. And they do some of the most important parts of the airplane, including the wing. And John tells me constantly how important engineers are. I don't know why, but he just keeps telling me. So we will, and if you look at it, the wing is one of the most important things on an airplane. And for us to put something that important outside of Europe, we did it because of the respect of the team, but more importantly, the talent that's here. You have an amazing amount of talent right here in Kansas. And our ability to access that is really important. And the partnerships we have with all of you are really important. And hopefully we're doing our share of the right things to engage with all of you. And I think John and team are. I do want to acknowledge what happened in Andover, and you know, Mayor Price, Ronnie, we talked. I will say this, with the tornado and the like, in speaking to you, you are one of the most positive people that I've seen in a situation like that. Your comment to me is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is, look, this is what happened, but this is an opportunity. And when you think about what happened to that community and looking at it in a positive way, to me, that's what Kansas is about, and I salute you. So, thank you. One of the things that at Airbus we're proud of is our engagement with the community. It's not about just production, dollars and cents, and the like. It's about trying to make sure that we're engaging with the community and our families, the people that work together. We help the community prosper. That's our goal. And we continue to work on that every day, and we will try to improve every single day to make sure that we're helping Wichita and Kansas be a better place going forward. And we're a good corporate citizen. That's our goal. And we'll continue to try to do that. Now, in the spirit of that, I'd like to announce a donation to the United Way of $25,000 so you can continue your fine work. So Pete, thank you, and again, as we've talked about earlier, please engage with our team, engage with me. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing and helping you to succeed. So with that, I look forward to meeting all of you. I have supplier visits, you'll be happy to know, this afternoon. The team is back to back, and I honestly believe that when we look back in a couple of years, we'll have far more engagement right here in Wichita. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff, and I really want to express how humble we are to see Kansans step up to help their neighbors in need. I will echo the Senator's comments and Jeff's comments as well. Airbus has been a wonderful partner for us for many, many years. John O'Leary sat on our board for many, many years. But like Airbus, all of you, I recognize so many people who have donated their time, their talent, and their treasure to help their neighbors. And that's really what we all love about Kansas. It's been going on for 200 years. When a farmer staked his land and had to set up a barn, everybody came together to put that barn up, and it's still relevant today. And so on behalf of the 750,000 people we serve in South Central Kansas, but in particular the 15,000 people in Andover, I want to thank all of you, especially I know Mayor Whipple's here, the Mayor of Derby, because if the tornado had landed there, you know Andover would be stepping up right now helping their neighbors. And so thank you all as Kansans and Wichitans for helping in our time of need. Thank you very much.
Take it.
All right.
Get that out of here. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our program. Thank you very much. Mayor Price, I would ask you to come up onto the front. I know we're going to have a photo op, and Pete, please join us as well. But again, thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you for being a part of the air capital of the world. We do have a little bit of time for some continued networking and mingling. Again, thank you very much.